Hi, how are you guys doing? Long time no see. Today, let's continue to take a look at the story about Xia Dynasty. Last time we talked about how it was born and how Yu's family controlled the whole country completely. When this was achieved, the king was Yu's son, Xia Qi. In order to maintain rule over all the people, he introduced punishment system for the first time in Chinese history. That was a cruel system, by the way. Like you steal something, they will cut your hands off. You say something wrong, they will cut your tongue off. Many people may think that this is a good thing. You do something wrong, right? You deserve to pay the price. That makes sense. But this kind of punishment was not fair. If you are just an average person, you will be punished. However, if you are from a noble family, you can pay worthy items like gold to escape from that. I know what you guys are thinking. Even if I don't come from a powerful family, but as long as I have money, I can also do the illegal things without paying the price. Then you are so wrong. Using money to replace punishments was only applicable to the noble family members. That's privilege. And for their titles, they would pass it down from generation to generation. It was really hard for ordinary people to cross levels. So the resentment of people was accrued. At that point, that wasn't a threat to the ruling class because the king Xia Qi controlled resources and army, and he just defeated the rebels. He was in his prime, but that resentment was a foundation of the downfall to Xia Dynasty. We will mention that later. Succession-wise, they started doing hereditary system. So basically, the fate of the country was in the hands of a specific family. If the successor wasn't competent enough, then the empire would go downside. Although there were 17 emperors in Xia Dynasty along history, some of them were really not cut out for this position. The first fatuous emperor was Xia Qi's son, Taikang. He was the oldest son of Xia Qi. For him, life was wonderful. He was born to enjoy the life. He knew nothing about governing a country. The only thing in his head was, how should I spend this day? What a happy burden. Before Xia Qi passed away, Taikang pretended to be a hardworking successor. But when he took office, he knew, okay, right now it's time to be the real me. He had fun with his friends all day. Gradually, this lifestyle became boring. He developed a new habit, hunting. Later, he will regret it. But in the old time, hunting was very time consuming. One time, he left for hunting and he left for months. This turned out to be an unwise move. At that point, Xia Dynasty was the biggest force in China. But besides Xia Dynasty, there was another force called Youqiong. Normally, this force was nothing compared to Xia Dynasty. But with the resentment of the people and the Taikang's inaction, under their new king, Hou Yi's lead, Youqiong got stronger and stronger, and everything happened secretly. Finally, they seized this chance to invade the capital of Xia Dynasty and became the new ruler. When all this finished, Taikang was still in the forest, hunting. On the contrary, Hou Yi was so smart, he knew if he overturned the royal family right now, he might encounter some opposition. Instead, he let Taikang's younger brother, Zhongkang, to be the puppet king. As long as he could control Zhongkang, he could control everything. As for the hunting lover, he was exiled. But there were still a lot of powerful families still supporting royal family. They knew what's going on. So in order to temper their opposition, Hou Yi returned back to his original kingdom. But that didn't mean he gave up power. Instead, he demanded Xia Dynasty to pay tribute to him every year. This reminded the world who was the real ruler. For Zhongkang, he was long-sighted. Although he couldn't call the shots on big affairs, he didn't sink into depression. He started thinking about how this happened. Quickly, he realized that the foundation of power is army. On the surface, he followed the decisions of Hou Yi. In private, he enlisted strong young guys to the army and asked them to receive training every day. After 7-year preparation, Zhongkang thought, okay, the time finally comes. He stopped paying tribute, and he demanded Hou Yi to pay him instead. After knowing this, Hou Yi was very angry. He swore he would punish Zhong Kang. He led his men invade the Xia Dynasty again. Just like that, war broke out again. Tell me, who do you guys think won this war? You are thinking about Zhong Kang, right? When I first learned about this history, I thought the same, but the fact was cruel. Hou Yi won again. One thing you guys should understand, for Zhong Kang's army, they were inexperienced. That was the first time to be in the battle. Everything was so much scarier than in the practice field, so the result makes sense. This time, no matter how resilient Zhong Kang was, he knew he couldn't do anything. He got depressed. Shortly after, he died. As for the new ruler, this time, Hou Yi didn't worry about others' opinions anymore. He beat the royal family twice. The position should be his. First, he exiled the son of Zhong Kang. Then he declared to the world that Youqiong was the new ruling country. Xia Dynasty was just an affiliated one. Everything went upside down. As for the ordinary people, do you think they are happy? Hell no. No matter who is the ruler, they only prioritize their own benefits. New ruler only took advantage of people's dissatisfaction. And so many years was spent on war. The situation was very chaotic. No one had the time to care about people's lives. Originally, with the new order being set, people's living conditions should be improved. Especially Hou Yi was a very capable king, but he had a lethal downside. He was very lazy. He looked forward to the lavish lifestyle all the time. After so much effort, finally he got to enjoy. He couldn't control himself anymore. There was also the foreshadowing causing his death. As for Xia Dynasty's destiny, we will mention that next time. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys like it, and see you next time.